to kick it off, we had some questions for John early on, kind of about our basic services and offerings. So first and foremost, I guess we'll start with this one. What areas do you service in terms of, do you do CBD as well as THC? And do you also work with full spectrum?
Thanks, Dana. So could you repeat the first half of that question?
I said, what areas do we service for CBD and THC? I think they mean regionally. And then also they asked if we worked with full spectrum.
Great. Yeah, so our footprint is national and international, but to drill down a little further, so anywhere in the U.S. That you want CBD, you want SōRSE shipped to, pretty straightforward for us to get that over to you. Internationally, obviously it varies. We have a footprint in South America, but we also have a footprint through our partner Balance. Some of you have seen the news with Balance, where we're able to deliver SōRSE to Mexico, Europe, Australia. We've shipped SōRSE to Africa. We've shipped SōRSE to Asia. A couple of exciting Asian customers with CBD. So I hesitate to say we can ship SōRSE anywhere because there are some international restrictions in some countries, but our footprint truly is worldwide at this point. There's an international opportunity. Definitely let's chat further. There are some hurdles to cross, notably in Europe right now. So everywhere's different, but our footprint is international right now. In terms of full spectrum, now that can be a gotcha question. The short answer is we don't work with full spectrum because that almost refers to working with this near winterized extract. We prefer to work with a slightly more refined extract when working with CBD, but we can get to broad, I would call it broad spectrum by adding terpenes, by adding other minors. We can get to a SōRSE blend that contains a lot of different types of cannabinoids that I think will meet the needs of someone who's looking for, air quotes, full spectrum.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, obviously the regulations vary everywhere. We have been able to penetrate a number of foreign countries with CBD. I mean, the EU, we're able to ship to. But, with the same thing goes with THC, we have to check with every state, work with licensed producers. So it's the same process everywhere you go. So, it's just about making sure we're doing it legally and safely everywhere. To continue moving forward, and this is something everyone can kind of jump in on, but maybe John, you can start it off. The question was, what attribute do most of our clients choose SōRSE for? What is the catch that makes them say, oh, we need SōRSE to be in our product? Is it taste? Is it, bioavailability? But John, if you could start it off, and then maybe you guys can chime in with, various answers or how you guys have, what you guys have seen from our clients.
Yeah, I'll be brief because I'd love for the rest of the team to join in. But for me, it's always interesting that the initial evaluation always seems to be sensory, like, oh, how does SōRSE taste compared to another alternative? But once they dive in, stability would be number one that I see, and then bioavailability, the fact that we deliver CBD into the human body more effectively. That tends to excite customers, but it's a discovery journey that we sort of take them on. And I think people have different criteria. They might change their mind about what's most important after a call with one of us, but would love for others to chime in.
I can jump in quickly. I'll leave room for everyone else, but all the things John just mentioned, for sure. I think one thing is interesting is that you're talking to 6 or 7 of us salespeople here. There's 35 people who work in QA, in R&D, in the lab, in product development, that vastly outnumber the people who are out there, talking to customers. So we have a really deep bench of people that can have intelligent conversations that get, the formulation process and can really kind of work from a scientific standpoint with our customers, much more than most of us salespeople can kind of get through to customers about specific needs that they have. So just the support from the back end is just so immense with our company, and their willingness to work with clients, I think, is the reason people stick around for sure.
Awesome. Dave, Zoe,
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, I actually have almost an exactly same comment as Matteo. So to echo those sentiments. I think that the team and some of the issues that we've been able to mitigate for the people that we work with, whether that, started before that we all were in contact, has been really impressive. The awesome team with a really wide variety of knowledge and a whole host of different avenues, and are just so smart and cutting edge, and can just, are amazing problem solvers and troubleshooters, and always happy to jump in, lend a hand, help figure out, whatever might be going on. I'm always amazed by our team, and I feel like the folks that we work with also are. So just that collaboration.
Dan,
awesome.
Sorry, Karen, but just briefly,
No.
I think what everyone's saying is initially they come for the food, but they stay for the company.
Yeah.
Restaurant, like it's the support they get. They might come for the product first, but Karen, sorry, you were gonna say?
Yeah, no, I think it falls along the same lines. I think they come for the product first, but I think what sets us apart from the rest of the people out there who are doing this is that, if you need somebody at your production facility because you're running a beverage, we've got somebody that will be there. If you're making an ice cream, we've got somebody who knows that. If you're doing a mobile unit of production of THC, we got somebody. And I don't think that same capability and that same level of expertise is found throughout the industry the way it is with us.
Yeah, I would agree. I think probably a good number of our clients have been on the phone with various members of our team. It's not just one point of contact. It's almost like Velcro. They have a question about branding. They reach out to me and ask if they're describing SōRSE correctly on their marketing. I think it's the level of support and the confidence that they have in working with us a lot of times. And I've heard Howard say it, and oftentimes the regulatory team says it, but we're almost like the insurance for our clients, where they feel confident because we've verified their product is safe, it tastes good, it's stable, we've done all of that, and then on top of it, we're going to help them execute it. So I think that's definitely the one thing, but I like the way John said it. They come for the food, they stay for the company. We have some really great beverages, so people probably do initially come for the food and drink, and then stay for the company. So I couldn't agree more. Definitely think that's kind of the process and how it goes. Moving along kind of into the functional ingredient conversation. We have a question, and David and Matteo might be able to give their opinions on this, but do we think we're going to see functional ingredients added to THC products?
David, that's I think so. I think as it becomes, especially with things like microdosing, or people who are more concerned about health and wellness and maybe cutting out alcohol, and micro sessioning, as they call it, low doses of THC, over a meeting with friends or on a walk or whatever you're doing. I think there's no reason why you couldn't have functional ingredients into a product like that, plant-based and, a lot better for your body than a Budweiser. And, so I think we'll see, but that's a really good question. And it might be something to be a first mover on in the market. You never know. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So if it's you who's asking it, call.
Yeah. Keep anonymity.
Yeah, I mean, I think, people see THC, many people see THC as a functional ingredient, depending on what they're using it for. So, if they're looking for it to, I know plenty of people that say THC helps them with their workouts and their recovery from their workouts. So if they're including THC in their recovery after, a triathlon or, maybe just their daily workout, why not add other functional ingredients to those formulas? again, you're just streamlining the process, which Matteo talked about, putting in, as many functional ingredients that hit that target consumer into one product. And if that includes THC, great. Maybe that's the other, pivot. We'll see brands that have a CBD version, and then they have a CBD, THC, and other functional version, as long as they have a legal license. But that's something I think we will see in the future. Cool. Functional ingredients 2.0, I guess. Well, and Matteo, I'll have you run with this. This is almost like a personal question in the sense of, what do you think?
Is it about the smoothie?
What?
Is it about the smoothie I make? Is it about the ingredients?
You know what? Why not? Let's talk about it. In a sense, I mean, what other functional ingredients do you think you're going to see paired with CBD? And that might mean they're already in your smoothie.
Yeah. Paired with CBD, I think you're going to see. I think the explosion is going to be with fitness. I think it's about recovery, and anything that can aid in getting those sore muscles feeling better to get out and do whatever you're doing again the next day. So anything that has anti-inflammatory properties to it, I would say, is probably something that we're going to start seeing. As far as specifics, I don't know. There's too many, but yeah, there's it'll be interesting to see what kind of separates itself in the market. But I think that sector where we're talking about high performance athletes all the way down to people who are just going to a spin class for the first time in 2 months because they want to get back into the swing of things, are going to be looking for things that are going to help their body feel better. So ingredients that lend themselves to that.
Yeah, I can tell you, I recently purchased a CBD lotion. I wanted to see if it worked. First and foremost, I wanted to test. I'm the human guinea pig. I buy every CBD product I find and I try it out. And then I rank them for myself. But the ingredients, I look at the ingredients now. I'm much more cognizant after working in this industry for a few years of looking at the label and seeing what's in them. And you're seeing the same ingredients that you would see at something you're buying at the beauty counter. It's aloe, it's vitamin C, and they're using the same marketing techniques in terms of, the consumer at the end of the day is like, what's the solution you're offering me? Are my wrinkles going away if I put this cream on my face? So they're using the same hints at, relief, calm, those sort of things, but they're using the ingredients that you would typically see with products that are able to offer those solutions and make more claims than CBD can currently. So I think we'll see a lot of that. I personally am waiting for like melatonin to be paired with more of my CBD products because I tend to consume more CBD at night. So that's me personally. But I agree. Anyone else have any ingredients that they want to see paired with CBD that they want to throw out there?
I'm patiently waiting for some sort of follicle regeneration type of CBD to get put in place. No. What I just want to mention is when we get more FDA guidelines, we're going to see, I think, a lot more specific. When people can make claims, that's really going to drive a lot more functional ingredients. It's hard right now because you can brand your product for sleep, you can brand your product for pain relief. It's complicated to make the claims around pain relief, but those are great effects that CBD and some minors can deliver. And I hope our customers are preparing everything they can with their brand and their formulation, so that when they can make claims, they can get those put on their label.
Right. Excellent. And then we'll take that, and as we're talking about products that we want to see on the market, Zoe and David, you guys can start this one off. You guys talked about new categories. What categories do you feel? I mean, Matteo already said he's looking for fitness, and now we know that John is looking for a follicle rejuvenation treatment. But what categories are you guys most excited about, and do we see the most interest in? I can tell you from my perspective and what I've been seeing a lot on the market is fitness recovery. And I know Michael Flemons would tell you that he wants a recovery beverage. But what other products and categories do you guys think will be part of that next wave?
I have a couple. I think that given the current environment with COVID and a real desire for people to feel like they're being fairly immune to something, maybe that includes more vitamin C or ginger, I think that wellness shots could really have a big moment starting now and going to alternity, as we don't really, seem to have our arms around this thing. So I think that there's certainly a time to strike while the iron's hot happening right now with a wellness shot. I also think, kind of on another note, that as a huge chewing gum fan, I would love to see some type of CBD gum. I mean, talk about something that's easily incorporated into someone's daily habits. I think you could marry those two pretty seamlessly, and people could chew their way right off into the sunset. Also had a hot sauce come up recently, which I thought was pretty interesting and cool. I tried some, and I thought it was pretty darn good. I mean, people are getting more creative. Michael and I have talked about hummus a few times. I think we actually did a demo with hummus. So you asked for a couple. I've now said 5 to 6 ideas. Anyone that's listening can steal any of those. And Diana and I will be the guinea pigs.
Yeah, I was just going to say
one
too.
thing, I mean, there's a couple.
Go.
Or David, you can jump in first, and then Karen can come in after.
Yeah, I think really it's like a choose your own adventure at this particular point. I like to say, I think a protein-based beverage, almost like a muscle milk, whether it's pre-recovery, recovery, something like that, would really help set some of the markets on fire and position itself as very viable amongst all the other competitive products that are in workout facilities and fitness and gyms and things of that nature. I think if somebody can effectively incorporate that and create a good tasting product, I think that's definitely got some legs to it. And I think you're seeing a lot of, obviously, given the environment we're in and at home, people are doing more experimenting. I mean, why not a chili powder or some type of a soup or a curry powder? Things where you can season, eat, functionally what you want to eat, but know that you're getting a little extra and not really have to think about it. I think there's some of those unique ways to go deliver the CBD there. That's all I've got.
I'm wondering if recovery is a category. I think that should be a whole new wave of lines, and you can advertise for it. Pre-recovery, I'm into it. But absolutely,
right here today.
Exactly. And I know Karen had a couple additions, I think.
Oh, that's okay. I think it just rounds out the fact that it basically can go in anything that someone likes. So if you're a particular aficionado of a product, you can put or formulate a finished good that has a certain level of CBD in it, or functional ingredient combination.
Yep. I will say I like Zoe's gum idea. Low calorie, delivery method everyone's familiar with, right at checkout, point of sale location. I'm into it. Someone can steal that. We'll back you on that. Okay, cool. And this is very much linked to that, Zoe, and it's perfect timing for this. During the presentation, you mentioned mouthwash and toothpaste. And the question was, what can CBD do, incorporated into those products? Do you want to give kind of a quick rundown on how you see the application working there?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So mouthwash and toothpaste could be shown to reduce inflammation, also can be active ingredients in fighting gingivitis, a decrease in plaque, which I think would be awesome. And then I said that like I'm really plaquey. I'm not meaning that. I'm a brusher. And then total bacteria, mouth reduction. Some really cool ways to target your mouth without, using an emulsion will target your actual gums and mouth as opposed to entering your bloodstream as it might do in an alcohol-based ingredient. So some opportunity to really have a positive impact on your gums and teeth. I'll have like a ding smile. Yeah, pretty full category. Would love to see more of that happening too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the market is ready for some diversification in terms of products. You know, when you go into the stores, you see a ton of topicals. Most are targeting similar effects, and they're trying to find ways to distinguish themselves. And I think for a lot of those brands, developing additional products, you know, that have like an umbrella, almost like health and wellness, or whether it's fitness or something like that, where when you build out those brands, the more product suite you have in your product suite, the more legitimate you look to a consumer when you look at it on shelves. It actually is the same effect with THC in dispensaries. If you only have one product or one flavor profile on the shelves, the assumption by the consumer is often like, oh, that's not a legitimate brand yet, or they just launched, or whatever. But the more you build out that brand identity, the more products you add to that suite, the more confident they are in, oh, I should try that. And if they like one, they'll try the rest of the products. So that's kind of the trickle down effect, if you will. Another category that you guys mentioned that I know is kind of a hot one, a lot of people have asked about it during our past webinars, is wellness shots. We've been looking into, you know, a lot of people have been looking into wellness shots. Obviously, I feel like when 5 Hour Energy hit, what was that, 15 years ago? I think that the wellness shot category grew as a whole. Can we talk a little bit about, you know, wellness shots and getting into big box mass retailers? And I think, David, you would probably be the appropriate person to answer that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's clearly evidence out there in the market that the wellness shots caught the eye of, you know, the big box retailers, similar to the sparkling seltzer category. You know, and sparkling seltzers getting crowded. So what else do you do, and where do you go? So the wellness shots, although they'll need to be, you know, viewed as a dietary supplement versus a food and beverage, and, you know, we might be able to help you get there in terms of the FDA framework. But as long as you're incorporating the adaptogens and you've got the levels correct in terms of what percentages of the ingredients, yeah, you can be viewed as a dietary supplement, and therefore have that lens to present to Walmart now currently with that FDA approval not having looming over your head. So you're going to see some, you'll definitely probably see some folks enter that space in that category, and now's the time to jump in.
I think that's the main great description, Dave, on the main benefit. I think just some secondary things to consider are, one, the portability of it. It's a little easier to ship wellness shots than full beverages, just weight. And with e-commerce being just more important than ever during COVID, it allows you to really leverage an e-commerce strategy to have a wellness shot. And then even within traditional retail, when you're taking up a little bit smaller footprint, yes, just to be able to get into some of the big boxes, being positioned as wellness supplement. But within convenience stores, you might get that end cap, sort of like 5 Hour Energy, instead of being put in with other competition in the beverage fridge.
Great point about the shipping as well, because that's been obviously with e-commerce being the main way for a lot of CBD beverages to, you know, survive and pivot when COVID hit, not using those boutique shops that were temporarily closed or other retailers. Stick packs, same sort of thing. People are familiar with them. They're light to ship. They're easy. And as Zoe mentioned in her presentation, her and I have a real, like, it's almost like we're angry at clumpy stick packs. Like any of those clumpy powders, and again, as I said, I'm the guinea pig. I've tried them all. And there's nothing worse than when you can't get that powder to dissolve. So, you know, I feel like my face lit up the same way Michael Flemons did the first time I saw the agglomerated powder demo. I just was like, oh my God, like we need that to be everywhere. And here's my Crystal Light. Can you dump that in? Great, thanks. That was like the ideal solution. So I think between that and the wellness shots, that shipping component is also huge. I think on that note, just so that we can stay a little bit more on time, I think we'll wrap up the Q&A session here. Feel free to continue sending us questions. We will follow up with everyone, like I said, via email following the presentations today. And we'll take a quick break. Your next presentation is by me, and I apologize, you're probably sick of me at this point. But the next presentation is by me, and I'll start it up in the next couple of minutes. But feel free to run to the bathroom, check your email, grab more coffee or a CBD beverage of your choice. Thank you so much to the business development team. Thank you for presenting and participating in the Q&A.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.